Hello, welcome back to TeamSport Acton. This is Need for Speed. We're going to have 4 races here. The first one is going to be a random grid start, and that will determine the starting order for race 2. I've been assigned P4 on the grid, and we're about to kick things off. So let's see where we end up in this one. Good start. Can we get around the outside of this guy? Probably not. We might have to concede this and just try and tuck him behind. A little bit of contact there as he goes, gets a bit out of shape, and that has allowed someone quite close onto our tail. Have to swerve to avoid contact there, and now we have got someone sneaking around our outside. But they've left the door open, and that allows us back up into 3rd position. A few laps later, we're able to track down Mr. Blue Suits. Not sure who that is, I'm afraid. But we have dragged, I believe, Adonis with us. He's very close on our tail, giving us a little love tap there as I brake to avoid contact with the cart ahead. So this is going to be a tricky one. Can I make the overtake stick without opening the door for Adonis behind us? I'm going to work around the outside. He left the door open here. I think he has. I'm going to go for it. And you see there is a little bit of contact there, but I think I had the right to the corner as I was on the inside, and I was more than 50% alongside. However, that has slowed us down somewhat, and we've still got Adonis right behind us now. So 2nd position could very soon become 3rd. And indeed, he snuck it down the inside there. Not much I can do about that. I have to concede the position and give him space. Do manage to stick with Adonis for quite a few laps though, until Steph sneaks up behind us. And now he's just going to shoot down our inside. Wasn't expecting that. I thought he was going to come around the outside. And this was pretty much a done deal. But then the 2 ahead start to scrap a little bit, which allows me to keep in touch. See Steph there able to sneak one down the inside of Adonis, which opens the door for me, but now I'm on the outside, so can't take this one. I am fortunate though that Adonis seems to have a pretty poor kart in number 14. It's not got much speed on it at all. Normally he would be pulling away from us on the straights quite significantly. But now you see he's left the door open, and I'm going to resend it down the inside, reclaim the position, and I am eventually able to hold on to that. So eventually we do cross the line in 3rd position. AG Karting, aka KO, I think he started on pole. Managed to get quite a good lead. Steph caught him, but I was just too far behind in the end. So race 2, I mentioned earlier that the grid start for this was determined by the results of race 1. So here I am in 3rd. Let's see if I can grab 2nd on the inside in time 1. There it is. Sent one down the inside, and I'm ahead of AG Karting, aka KO. I realise at this point that I'm probably not going to catch Steph as he's rocketing off into the distance. But I'm facing pressure again from Adonis. This time he hasn't got such a slow kart in a straight line. A little bit of contact there. That was my fault. I turned in on him. He had every right to that corner, I think. But thankfully he's okay. On the restart from the red flag, I do react a little bit more quickly. But in a normal kart, I don't think I've got the traction to keep pace with a lightweight, to be honest with you. Did manage to stick with him, stay in the slipstream. He doesn't really make any mistakes though. At some points during some of these corners, you're going to see that I do get very close, particularly when he's lapping one of the back markers. But he's driven well. He hasn't made any serious errors. hasn't opened the door for me, and I'm not really thinking I'm going to throw both of our races away by dive bombing him and crashing us both into the barriers. So eventually crossed the line in P3 once again, just 0.3 of a second behind Adonis in this race, which I think is encouraging for a heavyweight, to be honest with you. Now the next race was on Speed 4, and the grid was decided at random. Of course, any situation where it's randomized, I invariably end up in last position. So here I am. Let's see if I can do last to first challenge. Immediately there's contact up ahead. I'm not going to get around the outside, so I'm just going to concede that position to Dom, give him a little bump draft there, see if he can get ahead and start opening some doors for us. There we go, there's the first one. So now I'm up into 7th. You can see the karts ahead are scrapping quite a bit. So there should be an opportunity for us here. KO goes down the inside of Dom, opens the door for me a little bit, but I don't seem to have the power. The inside is open, so you know I can sneak it down there again, but now I'm on the outside for the next corner, and yeah, red flag. We're allowed to restart at the top of the ramp, so let's see if there's any opportunities from this one. More contact up ahead, and KO eventually finds himself in the wall there. Now look at that green light at the top of the ramp, it just goes to red momentarily, and that is the last thing that Dom sees. He at this point still thinks that it's a red flag, and he doesn't realise until we're much further down that it's gone green again. So he's actually, you know, he's held us both up there. Nothing really can do really about that. But I'm dropped back down to 7th. These two are scrapping like mad, so I'm able to get back up into 5th position. And that's where I finish, unfortunately. Not a particularly good performance. For some reason, I'm classified in 6th rather than 5th. Don't really know why that happened. Some TeamSport logic for you. And that determines the starting order for the 4th and final race, also on Speed 4. Let's see if I can reclaim my customary 3rd position. Immediate contact into the first corner. Nothing we can really take from it just yet. Sneaking up on the right hand side, but can't really go around the outside in that corner. So I'm going to open the door for us. Not quite. In fact, I think we lost a bit of time there. He does eventually produce this opening for us though. They accidentally tap the guy alongside him, but he's opened the door on the inside and I'm able to squeeze through. It does then take a few laps for me to catch back up with Dom. He makes a mistake on the previous corner, leaves the door open for me, allows me space very kindly, and so I take that position. And then a few laps later we do catch Mr. Blue Suits. I think he tries to close the door here, but it's too late. I'm already alongside, so I sneak through on the inside and back up into 3rd position. He does attempt to come back at me on the inside, but he just hasn't got the traction up the ramp, and that is now a done deal. So eventually we crossed the line in P3 again in the 4th and final race, and for whatever reason they didn't do an aggregate result. They didn't add the points from all the rounds. I'm just going to award myself 3rd position based on the 3 caps that I've taken home with me here. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.